Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, and this is your June 2024 monthly reading. Today, we'll be doing a yummy Celtic cross spread with clarifications, and then we'll close off the reading with a card from the Herbcrafter's Tarot. Keep in mind, these are general readings, so only take what resonates with you. If you are interested in more context, be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. And if you'd like a personal reading, I have links in the description below, along with links to my social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Creators on the Crest. Okay, Scorpio, let's get into this today. I'm gonna do a little shuffling here. Got my lovely sandstone arch. Part of the readings I recorded with some yellow roses, but those have come and gone. So we've got this lovely arch here. And we're gonna see what's going on for Scorpio, please. All right. Scorpio, a little bit of a challenging spot here, but it looks like you might be working on alchemizing all of that. Okay, Scorpio. What you're dealing with currently is the Three of Swords, and this is crossed with the Five of Pentacles. This is a challenging type of situation. This is maybe having to do with both love and money and finances. It almost seems like for some of you, this could be a reset situation or possibly even a breakup situation, a relationship, a divorce, a breakup. There is pain here. Now, if it's not an actual breakup, for some of you, you may be doing okay and just fine in a long-term relationship, but there might be some bit of pain that's come over this. Now, this could be from possibly your own issues of maybe security and abandonment and feeling safe within yourself. So even if it's not manifesting as, a relationship ending, although for some of you it could be, for others of you, this is more about how some of your deeper subconscious issues could be affecting an important relationship in your life. You're trying to focus on clearing this out with the Knight of Swords. You really want to kind of cut through this and work through this. There's an eagle in this picture, so I feel like you're really going for clear vision. You're really trying to see the forest through the trees, not get so tied up in little specifics. In the past, you're leaving behind the Queen of Cups, and I feel like this is an energy of you maybe getting overly emotional or your emotions kind of running wild with things as it applies perhaps to this situation or this subconscious pattern that you could be carrying. In your strength, you have the Five of Cups, which this is cool because you're coming from the Queen of Cups to the Five of Cups as a strength, meaning that the processing of your emotions and sadness that possibly was being held on to, emotions that needed processing that were being held on to are now being released. They're now allowing themselves to process, to flow. You're allowing it. You're really like taking a look at this. And it seems like for those of you who are dealing with this type of situation, that's kind of a long time coming. So really some more of deep-seated insecurities around possibly family life, finances, that kind of thing. And maybe you've been through a situation that's kind of triggered that. Now in the future, you have the Five of Wands coming up. And I'll be really interested to get some clarifications here, Scorpio, because that's a challenge card. That's a card of trial, challenge, and a lot of passionate, heated energy. So we'll have to see if that would be in your favor or not as we take a look at clarifications. For the advice and support, you get the Sun, the happiest card in the deck. This is a preservation of your happiness, I feel like. Maybe you are doing a little protection. You could be doing some circle magic or some circle work to help you hold sacred your inner light through all of this. In your environment, you get the Six of Wands. So something in your environment currently is making you feel really good. That's nice to see with the Sun and the advice and support. Maybe there's something in your environment right now that you can kind of look at and expand. We do have, Jupiter energies going on right now, and maybe expanding some of those energies that are in your current environment that do make you happy. So leaning into what makes you happy. In your hopes and fears, you have the High Priestess. And I really like this because I feel that with all the emotional processing and some deeper seated subconscious patterns that you may be dealing with, I really like seeing this High Priestess here because I feel like you're going to be able to move into new energies with an open heart. And that truly is your greatest protection. Now, since this is hopes and fears, there's a flip side to that. There's a bit of that shadow of like, oh my gosh, can I do this? This feels different to me. I'm not maybe leading with some of these emotions that have, quote unquote, that I think have protected me in the past. Your relationship to your own intuition, I think, is going to be different on the other side of this processing. So it'll be really interesting to see how you open up to the new potentials. And in the potential outcome, you have the Magician, a whole new level of you working with your magic. This time I feel I'm getting a lot of heart-centered energy. So instead of the emotions running wild and then pulling your thoughts into all these loops and quagmires, I feel that you're really going to be looking at and moving through your manifestations with more of a heart-centered and heart-led kind of energy, which is cool. All right, Scorpio, let's take a look. Let's clarify this Three of Swords, some level of heartbreak or pain. Again, for some of you, if there hasn't been a split up or a divorce or a separation that you're processing, this could be deeper subconscious issues. For some of you, Scorpios, it could be both. It could be you've gone through both things and a lot of subconscious stuff. When we're in relationships with others, a lot of the subconscious things that we might normally become aware of if we were sitting alone with ourselves more frequently, sometimes has a chance to arise. But when we are in a partnership and a couple and there's a lot of focus in those areas, especially if you're empathic and sensitive and you're picking up energies of the other person, you get very tied up in that sometimes. And it's hard to allow your own energies to arise unless you're very, very careful. So again, it's like a mastery of preserving yourself in relationships as well. Very interesting. Okay. To clarify this Three of Swords, you got the Two of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Yeah. I feel like this is okay, and this is why you're a Scorpio. This is why your core energies are so important, and that you're listening to this reading and that you're looking at your Scorpio placements very carefully. And I'm going to say, I don't want you only to look at your sun sign placement, but if you have Scorpio or 8th house energy in any other area of your chart that you're aware of, take a look at that, because this time, whether you're going through like a relationship situation or this is just something you're healing from the past and more subconscious, this has been very confusing for you. There's times I feel like you've been reacting out of, you don't even know what you're reacting out of. You've been responding out of certain energies that may or may not have been yours. I like seeing the Hanged Man here because that's the encouragement to really surrender unto this process, surrender back into yourself. allowing the energies of the heart to calm the mind, so to speak, or bringing the mental energies into the heart. Now, this seems to have really impacted your physical environment, your physical world. Some of you, it could be a move, a major move, or you're moving things around in your home even. And it also could be that your home environment, taking a look around your home environment, some of the way things are in your home environment are reflective of this subconscious process you're going through. So you may want to take a look at that more carefully. Looking at your, like, what is out of order, what has needed your attention, but you haven't gone and done it. Like, let's say maybe you have an old, maybe it's just a bin with old files in it that need to be like shred or burned or something. And it's just been sitting there and you haven't gone through it. I'm guilty of having that happen too. It's like it's kind of on deck waiting. The physical action of you going and clearing that out, whatever it is, could be a cabinet, it could be a file, it could be, but I'm talking about something physical in your home. It could be you need to catch up on the laundry, I don't know. Whatever it is for you, that taking that physical action of that one thing that's kind of just in the back of your mind and you're kind of noticing it, right? And it's on deck waiting to be dealt with. Dealing with that may help you through some of these energies because it's as within as without, and you're going to kind of go through your own exercise of reflecting back to yourself. So keep that in mind as you navigate the month of June. It may be time, I know we're kind of going into summer, but you might be a little late getting to the spring cleaning. All right, Scorpio. So the challenge here with this Five of Pentacles is this deeper subconscious energy that's coming up. It is connected to abandonment in some way, and maybe even in a way where you felt very defensive of yourself or another as a child. So have a look at that. The Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Seven of Wands and the Star. And to me, the Star is kind of taking me back to the more innocent energy, or more of how you came into this world before it jaded you, and more of the clear and dreamer-like qualities of you, Scorpio. And that is what's at stake here, what's at risk when you are like thinking about processing these energies. And I can see that you just kind of shove them down in the past, and maybe not even intentionally. It could have just been a survival mechanism, a defense mechanism. It could just be that this is the appropriate time for these energies to come up for you because you've released a certain something, and now these energies can arise and be dealt with. At times, it seems like you're giving me the feeling that I don't really want to deal with this. This is too much for me to handle all at once. And that's why I was saying, take a look at your physical world. Clear out just the one cabinet. Play some music you love. Make it fun for yourself. Come into your heart space. Maybe do a little bit of free movement or dance or rocking out or whatever it is you have to do. Maybe, like, have a little fun with it. If you write music, maybe while you're doing the activity or whatever you're clearing out, write something, come up with something, hear your own voice, make it fun, make it a process. Because here you are in this focus area. What's needed for you is to focus on this and cut through it and kind of use some stronger energies to do this. Now, while you're going through this, Scorpio, two other people around you, you may come off a little strong. The Knight of Swords is clarified by the King of Wands and the Temperance cards. So what I'm getting with the Temperance is that because of the depth of the process that you're going through, and the Hanged Man energies that you're putting towards it, which is sacrificing yourself unto yourself, it's a very internal process. I'm actually not really seeing it being something you need to have a lot of heavy discussions with other people about. You don't really need to go through talk therapy for this. This is more of an internal and active process for you. So thinking about this, you know, that this, at this stage, okay, not that you don't need to talk to somebody if you feel overwhelmed, not that you don't need to reach out for support, but at this stage, it feels like you need to temper some of this. It could just be that the people around you, they don't get it, they don't understand. You're not going to find what you're looking for by going to them, but the need for you that you're showing me to clear this out, the Knight of Swords and then the King of Wands coming in as a clarifier is I mean, that's some hellfire, you know, that's you going through some hell and being so determined to come out of it on the other side with clarity of vision, with wisdom of purpose, just all kinds of beautiful heightened energies that are way more balanced in the mind and heart than maybe you've felt in a long time. So hard work, I'm not going to lie. This is hard work, and you're going to have to temper it when it comes to perhaps discussing it with others, being very aware of the depth and the power of your own internal process. All right, let's leave. Well, yeah, we want to kind of leave this past energy behind. You had the Queen of Cups in the past. Leaving behind the energy of holding on to the emotions that need to be processed. This is clarified by the Three of Pentacles and the Justice card. And because I'm getting this Three of Pentacles in the past, I think that's another reason why I'm saying temper your involvement with other people at this stage of your processing, at this stage of your healing. Listen, this is very complex. You're a very complex individual. You have a lot of depth. You're multifaceted, okay? And I feel like in the past you have maybe sought support for this, and maybe you've gotten to some degree, or you've come to the point where you're aware of this, right? And this reading is just a confirmation for you of like, okay, yes, I'm taking a look at this. I knew I was taking a look at this. I knew this was coming. The Justice card is here saying, listen, it's really, when I'm tuning into the energy of your greater being is telling me it's really not fair for you to continue to bottle this up, for you to continue to hold these energies in. Because coming into your strength here, and part of resolving the past is allowing you to process this emotionally, allowing yourself to process this emotionally. Again, I don't see you, I see you've already talked to someone about it. You've already gained support, or support is already set up around you to be able to do this. And it seems like you're coming into this processing of the emotions in a very balanced way, even though the actual processing can be tough. And I wouldn't be surprised if you actually take the advice of the focus area here and you go and you clean that cabinet, or you clean that file, or you tackle that closet or that room. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the emotions come out during the process, during the very physical process of doing that. Let's look at the strength of you processing your emotions with this Five of Cups. Yes. Okay, so these emotions don't feel the best, I'm not going to lie, but they are, for you to be able to process these now, you get the Four of Swords and the Five of Swords to clarify this. So you're in the Five of Cups with the Four of Swords, which is rest, respite, healing. And then you have the Five of Swords, which can be conflict, challenge, like mentally and in communication. That's why I feel like right now this is a process of you with you, a very personal internal process. Listen, when you're through these emotions, when you're through some of this processing of these energies, yes, then you can come and you can be like, wow, you know, I just processed all this. I just transformed all this. You can talk to somebody supportive about it. But right now, this is a deep internal process of emotional healing. And when you heal the emotions, it certainly looks like your mental state is going to, it's going to be tricky because it looks like you're going to bounce back and forth between feeling conflicted at times, and feeling rested and feeling healed at times, right? And that's just part of the process. That's part of the process. And it looks like for June, you're really going to be going through this. So give yourself that opportunity. Gift yourself the opportunity. Because this 5 of Wands in your future, so what's going to happen here, it looks like, is if you take advantage of this internal process and really making a move with your emotional processing, but also benefiting your living space, your environment, cleaning a room, cleaning a cabinet, clearing something out. Maybe you've had loss in your life. Maybe you've had a parent pass away and you're resolving energies, mother wounding, father wounding, processing the energies of your lineage, this ancestral work that a lot of us came here to do. We're clearing out our ancestry while we're having our own spiritual growth opportunities. Massive work, right? And a lot to parse through. But it looks like with the 5 of Wands being clarified by the Hermit and the High Priestess in the future, that this experience for you is going to give you the opportunity to have a better handle on any kind of conflicting situations that come up in the future, including conflict that you feel internally with yourself. And I love that. You're coming into a new wisdom. You're coming into a new way of working with your magic. You're valuing the internal process and the satisfaction that you feel with the balance of knowing when to reach out and ask for support, and knowing when to have your own personal private rituals and have that be something very sacred and sanctified just for you. This is I really like the Hermit and the High Priestess. This seems to be a major life lesson. This seems to be something that once you actually go through it, you will have gained a major tool in your toolkit for emotional processing and mental balancing, which is beautiful. This is what we need to be doing. This is the work that we do upon ourselves in order to show up in the world with our purpose and in our mission. Let's look at this advice card of the Sun in the support position here, clarified by the Death card and the 6 of Cups. I feel with everything you're going to be processing here, and here you are, Scorpio, in your own energy, the Death card coming here. It's a return to yourself. It's a return to love. It's a return to you reclaiming wherever something went down that caused you this subconscious pattern or block or defense mechanism, whatever it is for you, and caused those trapped emotions. The event, I see you going back and that being healed, and I see you offering that support to your younger self perhaps, and I see you offering a new beginning to your innocence in all of this, and to your dreams. Remember, you had that Star card come up in what's challenging you right now. And this is you coming back and saying, remember your dreams? I'm offering you something. And this is a very internal process that you're gifting yourself here. It's really quite lovely energy and showing up as yourself, but a newer version of yourself. In your environment, the 6 of Wands, so that's something happy to focus on, to celebrate, is clarified by the 10 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. Now, you had the 3 of Swords in the very beginning of the energy that you're in. So yes, it's impacting your environment, very much so. But there also appears to be happiness and stability in the environment, and or as a result of you processing these emotions and taking the physical action that goes along with what was recommended here in the energies. And there is this element of you needing to feel like it's okay for you in the month of June, give or take. There's going to be some good days and there's going to be some hard days. There's going to be some days where maybe you just feel like you need to be in bed crying or, you know, really processing these emotions. There's going to be other days where you feel very stabilized and able to show up for yourself or the people around you. If you're, you know, part of a family or you have people living with you, or this could be friends and family around you. There's going to be other days you feel like that. And that is your environment very much so is reflecting back to you the keys of you moving through these energies, which is what you want, because then you can get a nice perspective. I really feel like the principle of as within, so without, you know, that level of correspondence, that alchemical correspondence is really working with you right now. So if it's like a day that you just need to be processing your emotions, something in your environment is going to key you into that. And you'll be like, okay, if you're not listening, especially, it's going to key you into that and have you rest. And vice versa, if you know, something is going to open up for you if you're meant to be kind of out about, more bubbly, more interactive, right? In your hopes and fears, you have that high priestess, and I really felt like this is you coming into your heart space. Not that a lot of you aren't there already, but this is a depth, a deepening of going deeper into your heart, of working through these emotions, transforming this pain, and keeping your heart open. You get the 7 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. I feel this is going to take time to get used to for you. I think on the one hand, you're like, but how different is it going to be? What, you know, if I've really had this transformation and I've changed, how am I going to act? You know, because I know I'm not carrying around this burden anymore. I'm processing this. I've processed this. Now what do I do? There is some question there, or maybe some doubt. I don't really see it as a full-blown fear. I see a little bit of doubt there. I see a little bit of hesitation, but I also see the need to nurture this energy and the desire to nurture this energy and to maybe be patient with it, to understand that this level of change, it kind of has to weave its way into all the corners of your life, and that takes a little bit of time. So I see you kind of going through a little bit of doubt maybe, but coming back to, no, I'm going to nurture this because I know this is right for me. Let's look at the Magician and the potential outcome. The Page of Wands and the 2 of Wands. Yeah, you're going to be a lot wiser after really allowing yourself this internal process. You're going to be a lot wiser with using your magic. You're going to be a lot wiser with processing your emotions and how you respond to things. Now, there is going to be some learning here, and I feel like that's going to be using the element of fire. Maybe you'll do some candle rituals, or you'll have a bonfire, or you have a fire pit that you can, you know, have a fire, gaze upon things. Maybe there's exercises where you're writing things down as you're going through this, and you need to burn some things. Maybe that file you needed to clean out will be burned, as, you know, that'll part of the ritual to kind of close off these energies for you, to kind of symbolize something for you. Let your intuition guide you here. Let your intuition guide you. But it does seem to me like you might crave something a bit tangible, as like a marker or a representation of the completion of this process and the wisdom that you've gained and been able to gain here. And you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to know that transformation took place. Scorpio, let's get a card to close off the reading from the Herbcrafter's Tarot. Scorpio, you got the 6 of Air, Cattail, and it says, clarity can be found in the mire. Cattail, often seen as invasive, creates a stronger ecosystem by cleaning and purifying an area, making it more habitable for life. Open yourself to new ways for manifestation. Ask for help from your community only when you need it. Adjust your expectations and challenge your current way of thinking. As cattail seeds are carried by the wind, trust Spirit to carry your visions toward the greater good. Cattail is sometimes called the supermarket of the wild for its many uses: food, shelter, clothing, fuel, and medicine. Be the resource of the Spirit. Look for a myriad of ways to be of service to care for your own needs and the needs of others. Wow, Scorpio, pretty cool. I really like the effect of the cattail being like cleansing and purifying the environment, because I felt like that very physical action of clearing something out in your physical environment is really going to help you with your emotional and mental processing here. So that's a pretty cool card to come up and kind of clarify that. And the Six of Air would be related to the Six of Swords in the traditional tarot. And that is a representation of moving into calmer, steadier waters. Scorpio, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next time.